The price of Bitcoin is capitulating. We're about to drop below $80,000 per coin. We've had huge changes in the BlackRock ETF purchase amounts. We've also had Jim Cramer come along and say the cabal is trying to keep Bitcoin above 90,000. As soon as he tweeted, we saw a huge dip in the price of Bitcoin. We've even seen Michael Saylor purchase thousands of Bitcoin and actually posting about they'll all say that we got lucky. Let's actually cover the latest price action for Bitcoin in today's video. Smash the like and subscribe if you do enjoy. Firstly, we'll always focus on the weekly chart and then we'll zoom down into shorter time frames. This break below the 50 EMA or 50 simple moving average, this has been the clear break and clear indicator that we have began the bear trend. Right now, we are retesting the 20 EMA on the monthly chart. This is literally the last indicator that we have to actually tell us that there could be some bullish momentum. If price doesn't bounce at this $80,000 level, looks like the next support is around $75,000, and then really it's going to be at around that $50,000 level. So we really need $80,000 to hold right now, because if we do get $80,000 hold, I do expect actually a retest of around that $100,000, maybe $110,000 per Bitcoin. Makes sense if we were to get a bounce at this price, but we really need a bounce right now, because if we don't, 75,000 is really the next stop. So that's already nearly a 10% drop. That's over a 10% drop from current prices. If we don't get a support here, does look like we do have a bit of a resistive structured around this 100 to 110K zone. So if we do get a support, I am expecting a quick and sharp push into this area. Could be a great zone to actually look for shorts. It's one thing I've really been focusing on. Don't forget to actually check the link in the video description. You'll be able to see the first link is WEEX. They're actually offering up to $100 in free deposit bonus. This is where I'm going to be taking a lot of my trades for crypto. No KYC exchange. So don't forget to jump on their current offer. They've just partnered with me and they're only offering that for a limited time. Next, we can move down to shorter term time frames. Let's actually move down to the daily. Right now, really the next resistive structure, all we're mainly focusing on is the overall this exponential moving average, this orange line on the chart. Every single time prices come back to retest this EMA lately, we've had massive rejections. And right now, we're quite far away from the EMA. If you look at our current price, we're actually around 15, nearly 16% away from the EMA. So it's quite likely to see a bounce right here. Then where would we see the next resistance? We'd see the next resistance at this exponential moving average. So we will expect that to be a bit of a resistive price structure. But we will need to finally break and actually make some higher highs and higher lows, because if you see this structure, we're just continuously making a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and now we've made a clear lower low. The next structure would be to actually come up, make another lower high, but then we need to make a higher high to then see that push to around that 100, 110,000 as I am expecting, probably around a retest of this 50 simple moving average on the daily chart. Does make a lot of sense. We can move down to shorter time frames, even like the 30. All that we're seeing is constantly for these simple and exponential moving averages, we're seeing short bursts above, but these are really great opportunities right now for looking for shorts, because everything is just going in one clear direction. We thought this $90,000 was going to hold. As you saw, Jim Cramer's tweet actually came in right around here. So we're actually sort of expecting this around $90,000 to really act as that support. This is sort of what he was tweeting. Almost feels like the cabal is trying to keep Bitcoin above 90,000. I like Bitcoin, but I don't like any of the derivatives created to play it or game it or mine it. So that's clear. Could be the reason why we had this major drop. One other thing I do want to point out is here the BlackRock overall ETF purchase history. So we can actually go back and see the overall purchase history or the BTC balance for iShares or the BlackRock Trust. And we can see when was the all-time high. And you see the all-time high for the holdings was back here on October the 10th. And actually, or October the 29th. And basically since then, if we actually have a look at the date, we can see we've had quite consistent drops. This is basically over 783,000 Bitcoin. And consistently since, let's go back, since the 10th of October, we've actually seen quite significant decline, seeing thousands of Bitcoin actually selling off quite consistently. Really, the last few days, even the November the 14th, having nearly 10,000 Bitcoin sold off. We've also seen Strategy acquired over 8,000 Bitcoin November the 17th. This was a few days ago at over 100,000 per coin. So they're already down 20% on that purchase. Michael Saylor actually saying they'll all say we got lucky. He just posted that. So potentially saying, this could be the time to actually purchase and hold some long-term Bitcoin. We're really waiting for that pump. Really waiting for a retest of around that 100K. I am expecting a push higher very, very soon. We could even come over and add some indicators like the RSI on the 4-hourly to daily chart to actually see what's happening. We finally come into the majorly oversold region. And if we do have a look on the 4-hourly time frame, we actually could be seeing a form of divergence back here when we compare the lows back here at around 100,000 in early November to these lows happening right now. It looks like the RSI is actually making a bit of a higher low, but here clearly making a lower low in price. So this is a bit of a signal. We don't see it on the daily, but we definitely see it on the 4-hourly. So we're definitely expecting a bit of a pump, some push higher, but that would be probably the best area to then look for those continued shorts trading with WEEX. Don't forget to check out all the links in the video description. Smash the subscribe button, leave a comment, tap the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.